Today we're going to walk through a speed square strategy called corner solving. To do a corner solve, you first start by solving only one 2x2 corner. So we're going to pick the upper left corner here, this 2x2 corner that I'm highlighting with my mouse. And to solve this corner, all we need to do is move only two colors into the corner and have one color in each column. So here we'll go ahead and move the orange into this first column, and then we'll move pink into the second column. And now you can see we've solved this 2x2 corner. So next we're going to solve the 3x3 corner, moving one step outward. The key thing with this is that we don't want to ruin our 2x2 solve when we do the 3x3 solve. So for example, if I were to move this column down, now our 2x2 solve is ruined because this corner now has three colors. So we can't do that, which basically means that these 8 tiles here that are below the 2x2 solve cannot be moved up or down, but we can still move them left or right. And similarly, these 8 tiles here, which are to the right of our 2x2 solve, can only be moved up or down, and we cannot move them side to side without ruining our 2x2 solve. So now that we have the 2x2 solved, we're going to go ahead and use this strategy to solve the 3x3. So we'll move orange into 3x3. We already have pink solved, and then finally we can solve green by moving it up into this 3x3. And then we do the same thing again for 4x4. And remember, we only want to move the tiles here, which are below our 3x3 solve, horizontally, and we only want to move these tiles here, which are to the right of our 3x3 solve, vertically. So we'll follow that same strategy. Here we now have orange solved, we have pink solved, now we have green solved, and finally let's go ahead and solve yellow as well. So this gives us the 4x4 solve, and then once again we'll just expand this out to a 5x5. So we'll only move these tiles below our 4x4 solve horizontally, only move these tiles to the right of our 4x4 solve vertically, and we'll just go ahead and solve the 4x4 here. So now we can move blue into this final column, and now we'll have our 5x5 solved. So now we need to do something slightly different to solve this last row and column, and basically what we're going to do here is we're actually going to solve this final row in the final column. So what that means is that we want the same order of our columns, so orange, pink, green, yellow, blue, moved into this final column. So just to clarify that, we're going to move orange and then pink, and then we have a little bit of moving to do with green, so we'll move it out so that we can get it right below pink, and then move it back in. Then we have yellow, and then we have blue. So now you can see that our final column matches the order of our other columns. So now the rest of it is pretty easy. We just move these final columns one by one into the final row. And as you can see, since we've already set the order up, it's going to solve the puzzle for us. So hopefully this solve made it clear how you can solve generic puzzles like this. Now, if you do get stuck, there's one more tip, which is you can use this swap button here, and then you can choose 2 tiles to swap. So for example, we could solve this 2x2 here by using the swap power up a couple times instead. Now you can only use this twice per game, so you should be careful about when you use the swaps if you end up using them at all. But that can be one more useful tip. And lastly, you should also just be careful. So for example, if you have hard, you'll have these numbers on the board. And as you can see, it's telling us some tiles can only be moved a certain number of times, and you lose if you move a tile with a 0 on it. So if we move this tile a couple times, now it's got a 0, we can't move it again or we'll lose. So when you have these numbers on the board, you can't use corner solve. You need to be a little bit more strategic about how you're going to do the solve. And basically, you can still take more or less the same approach, which is that we'll try to solve one part of the puzzle first. So for example, since our orange is very low now, since we've kind of moved it a couple times, we could solve the orange column first, and then we'll solve the other parts after that. So here now we've solved the orange column, and we'll just try not to move this column anymore. So hopefully that clarifies a couple of speed square strategies, and I hope you found this video useful. You can always contact us either through the app or through speedsquaregame.com if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.